Second pick here, Matt?
No, I had sources telling me it was Jalen Green.
It is in. That's exactly it. So we now have our second pick, who you thought, really for the last few days, that was going to be the pick. And you see just the USA because it's G League Ignite. There's no college here. So maybe some folks, I mean, probably very few people watched him play last year, but he was the #1 recruit in the country, according to some services coming out, and chose not to go to college. What do we know? How's the fit between Houston and Jalen when you look at this, Coach?
Yeah, with Jalen Green, this is a really good fit, especially for Steven Silas going into his second year. This kid is a phenomenal talent. Green could pretty much lead the NBA in a couple of years in scoring. He's a scoring machine. He's very all around. He puts the ball in the basket from all three levels, the three-point line, mid-range, taking the ball to the basket. Obviously, as his body matures and fills out a little bit, he'll do a better job of playing through contact. But when you're a team like the Houston Rockets and you've lost now Westbrook, James Harden, Chris Paul, all in the last, 3 to 4 years, you need some good news. And Jalen Green would definitely be good news.
May I press the point a little and say Houston was last in the NBA in rebound percentage and rebound differential. And with Evan Mobley out there, we need another small guy? I mean, if I'm let me just be the voice of somebody who might be thinking, why didn't we go big here? You'd say what?
Because Houston, when you look at their team, the wing players that they've lost, this is a wing players league. This is not just about the point guard or the center position. It's about all those multiple players that can move around in different situations at that 2, 3, and 4 spot. And I just think Green's versatility in terms of a team that's being redeveloped and remolded, and because they've hit the reset button, I think he makes more sense at this spot than Mobley.
I'll take that as an answer. Fair enough, Matt?
Okay, two things. One, behind it, we're going to see Evan Mobley almost certainly go #3 here to Cleveland. I think that's what's going to happen. Mobley's camp did not want to go to Houston. And Houston saw a lot of potential in Jalen Green. What Avery's saying here in terms of his scoring ceiling is massive. But to me, the other story with Jalen Green going to Houston is this. He is going to be the first player highly drafted out of the G League Pathway program, and he's going to make history one way or the other. He is going, there's going to be other players in this very draft that came out of this Pathway program, but Jalen Green, once you're a top 1, 2, 3, 4 pick, you are a headline kind of player there. We'll see what this G League Pathway program looks like in 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. But Green's, it's some new ground that's being treaded here, and no surprise there. He's an interesting player. For me, I wouldn't put him #2 overall, but Houston has long targeted him at #2, and so no surprise.
You're right. 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, but that's not going to stop us. We're going to grade it right now. Here's Akeem Dermish.
Yeah, he led the G League Ignite in scoring per game, 18 points per game, as we welcome back in Gary Parrish. Gary, this was a kid that said had he played college basketball, he would have had a different conversation in terms of going #1. He goes #2 to Houston. Your grade is what?
Well, the grade is an A+, and I know some people have scoffed at Jalen Green saying that, but he makes a valid point. He's been off the radar for most basketball fans for the past year because he played for the G League Ignite instead of Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, or a school like that. But he was awesome for the G League Ignite. I mean, it's a young man who averaged 18 points per game and shot just below 37% from 3 against grown men, against people 6, 8, sometimes 10 years older than him, against former college All-Americans. You can reasonably argue that what Jalen Green did against G League competition is more impressive than what anybody did in college against college competition. So I think the Houston Rockets, they got this right. They've had stars in their franchise in the backcourt in recent years. James Harden, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook. They need another one, and this young man has the best opportunity of anybody in this draft, not named Cade Cunningham, to be a star at the next level. He could be a future scoring champion. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying he's got the talent and the ability to make something like that happen.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.